So tonight we shall begin with our IELTS speaking task 1, 2, and 3, which the task 1 you are going to introduce yourself. I will ask you several questions. Yes, you may begin by you are entering the room, knock the door, and then greet your evaluator like good morning or good afternoon, sir. That depends on your test type. And then your evaluator will say, please be seated. And then you have to say, thank you. After that, we will ask you about your passport. Would you mind putting your passport on the table? When you are handing in your passport, please say, here you are, here it is. Yes, my passport. And the conversation will begin for the speaking task 1 because they will examine you from the moment you enter the room. Quite clear?
So to repeat what I have to do, first I introduce myself. Then when they ask me to give their passport, I pretend to give the passport.
No, you are going to enter the room. Introduce later on. Yeah, not yet start. You just enter the room, greet your evaluator.
Okay.
Good morning or good afternoon, like that. Let's try, okay? You
Yeah.
knock the room and then I would say, yes, please come in.
Okay. Should we start?
Yes, please come in.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please be seated.
All
And
right.
would you mind put your passport on the table?
Here's my passport. Anything else I should give you?
It's quite enough. Okay, Mr. John, yes? Okay. Mr. John, we shall begin our IELTS speaking task 1. There will be 3 tasks in IELTS speaking. The task 1 is going to be about the self-introduction. Would you like you to introduce yourself a little bit, sir?
My name is Jonathan Frederick Celestio. I am born in the city of Jakarta, and currently I am 17.
How do people call you, sir?
They usually call me Jonathan, but my mother personally calls me Nathan.
I see. So, you are still living with your family. What are you doing currently?
As of late, I am still a student,
In high school, that means.
indeed, in high school.
I see. So, would you mind a little bit telling me about your family, sir?
I am the eldest sibling of 2. My mother and father are still alive, and I am, like I said, the first child in my family. I have a younger sister, and that is my only immediate family members.
Okay. So, pursuing your studies still in high school, I would like you to. Okay, where are you living right now? Still with your family, right? Yes. And
Yes, I'm
in which part of Indonesia you are living in?
as I said, I am still living in Jakarta, specifically in West Jakarta.
Interesting. Explain more, Jakarta as the metropolitan city, yes, sir? And how
So
explain also in the relationship how you are going to deal with the situation, the accommodation, the transportation, as well as how you survive in not survive but being able to do your hobbies in Jakarta.
So for starters, Jakarta is divided into 5 different small regions. Central Jakarta, which is the place where most of the metropolitan part of Jakarta is located, and the place where we have our MRTs at. After that, there is West Jakarta, which is where most of the Chinese population live in. Then there's South Jakarta. This is the lowest part of Jakarta, which is why when the city floods, sadly, all the flood water goes there. So that place is very prone to flooding. Next is North Jakarta, which is close to the beach. Then you have East Jakarta. I've never personally went to East Jakarta, but I do know that's where the remaining original tribe of people who lived in Jakarta, the Betawi, usually live at.
So it's quite far. East Jakarta and you live in the southern of Jakarta, yeah?
I live at the western part of it.
Western. So how long the duration minimum to reach from South Jakarta to East Jakarta? I mean, West Jakarta to East Jakarta, approx.
Now, I'm not exactly sure how long. I've never went to East Jakarta, partially because my own family disapproves of us going there.
Too far away where I live in East Jakarta. Okay, thank you, sir. Any specific hobbies that you would like to do anyway in your own time?
I do enjoy playing games, but if I'm not playing games, I would be reading books, maybe about history, and talking with my friends about lessons as well, because the school tests are very hard.
And that include as your hobby, revising. Thank you, sir. That will be it for the speaking IELTS task 1. We begin our speaking IELTS task 2. You will get cue card. Yeah, in this part of the test, you are going to deal about 5 batch of speaking task 2 and speaking task 3. Yes. So this is the first batch. For the speaking task 2, that it's about you. Yeah. Music. Describe your favorite song. You should say 4 pointers below. Your preparation time start now. You have 1 minute preparation time. You shall begin now, sir.
Understood. So the name of the song is called, if I am not mistaken, and I'm trying to remember it, I do love country songs, and my favorite song happens to be a song called Big Iron. So the song this is telling the story of a cowboy who enters into a town, or more specifically, a ranger who enters into a town to hunt down a notorious criminal by the name of Texas Red. The story itself is quite good, but the tunes of the song makes me enjoy it. Unironically, I first heard this back in 2012 when I was playing a game. The game had a radio feature and I turned it on, and well, that was the first song I heard. Obviously, there are many other songs that were playing, but Big Iron was always the favorite song that I like to listen to. And I guess the reason why it's my favorite song is partially because of the game. It works so well with the atmosphere of being in a desert walking around with a revolver. It made it very memorable and made for some truly hilarious scenes in the game itself. That is personally why I enjoy playing that game and then listening to the song. It gives me so much memories of my childhood playing that game. On the other
Will
hand,
be it for the speaking IELTS task 2. We continue with the speaking IELTS task 3. That will be the global questions. Still regarding song. As there are lots of concert and any singing performance contests in television or uh in live, yes, live show. So I would like to ask, as the opinion of the society, is it important to maintain those attraction or entertainment, especially for the young generation?
so when it comes to things such as enjoyment when there is music shows, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yes, music show.
I do think it's important we keep it, partially because of my own enjoyment of music, but also because music is one of the ways we can get closer to each other and enjoy each other's lives. I also think music talent shows like this can help people to be themselves and enjoy what they like to play. I think it's a good way to show one's creativity and also make it so that people are less afraid to talk or even sing in public. That's my personal opinion of it, and I believe we should continue it. There are many people in this world with the talents, but
So it's giving kind of like a leisure, yeah, leisure time for the people, especially with the situation now that needs entertainment, right? How about uh, the good impact and bad impact of the music performance that some will lead to disaster, including fraud?
obviously not everyone can be held accountable with fraud. There will be always those who attempt to fake their songs or even fake their voices. Obviously, it's not always the best case scenario, but in most situations, it should be a clean and concerted effort, and there shouldn't usually be much fraud. But if there is, then it must be dealt with swiftly in order to ensure the calm and enjoyable nature that is music festivals. I don't personally think music festivals and music shows should be laid with controversy.
Thank you. And then the last question is, how do most people enjoy their favorite song? Are they commonly only being passive or become the singer, especially the young generation?
From my own research on my friends, they do usually like to actually just listen to the songs and not sing it. Now, some of them do sing it, but that's the rare exception where they happen to also be taking a music elective, specifically one for singing. In that case, they like to sing to the song. But in many cases, most people do not take that elective and thus refuse to sing their song, at least in public. But yes, occasionally some of the younger generation do like singing, but they like to sing it without anyone looking at them.
Okay, thank you. That will be it for the Speaking IELTS Task 3. Yes, just reminder, Task 3 always about global opinion. We continue with the second batch. This is your question about travel. Describe a country you would like to visit in the future that you haven't been to yet. The rest will be the pointers that you have to answer it all. And you have 1 minute preparation. Yes, you may start now.
So a country I would like to visit in the future is uh personally Austria. Now, Austria is located in the central of Europe, between Germany, the Swiss, Hungary, as well as Italy. And what I would like to see there is the city of Vienna itself. I've heard from many people that it's a beautiful city and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to go there. I personally imagine that this country would be a good place to visit, partially due to its historical sites. Vienna has been known to be an ancient capital for the Austrian Empire and also the Holy Roman Empire in certain cases. I enjoy listening to history, and thus I do want to go to that city in order to see the city itself and just enjoy how the city looks. Personally, it's my reason why I want to go to Vienna, because it's simply such a historical site that, and I love history, which makes me all the more want to go there. It's such a
Thank you,
historical city.
Mr. John. Now, the speaking IELTS task 3 begin that according to people, why do people prefer to travel? For what purpose?
So there are certain cases where people enjoy traveling for the sake of traveling. These people think of it as a vacation and a leisure time to just be themselves and enjoy the scenery. On the other hand, there are also cases where some people go to different places and different nations, not because they want to, rather because they have to, usually for work-related reasons. And last but not least, this is more depressing, I suppose. But some people like to move to different places to escape their original home. These people are usually refugees
Very
and
well. Yes, the message is when you answer things, the most is 3 sentences, sir. Okay, let your evaluator comes in between. Okay,
oh,
so
so sometimes the evaluator can,
yeah, not always. It's gonna be like long story, no? Yeah, you limit. It's kind of like giving the interaction, right? Because this is already reaching the task 3. Yeah, the task 3 is gonna be discussion. Yeah, so it's kind of like manner when you are telling something and then you let your opponents to also ask you something or give you information as well. Yeah, consider as that. So the second question that I would like, so in terms of doing the traveling, what are the preparation that common people do?
may you repeat?
In terms of preparing for a travel, what do people prepare?
When people prepare for the travel, obviously they prepare money and they also prepare the clothes on their back so they can change clothes. After all, in most cases, when they go on a vacation, there's not really a place for them to clean their clothes and dry them off.
Okay,
Next,
like that, around 3 or 4 sentences. Yeah, limit it. Yeah, you limit it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The purpose is just to maintain the conversation. Good one. We shall begin our speaking session 2. This will be the last, I believe, yeah. And then pay attention to the task 3. Yes, this is communication for task 3. Yeah. For task 2, keep on going until your evaluator stop you. Okay. So the speaking IELTS task 2 is describe a lake, a river, or a sea you have visited. You have 1 minute preparation, sir.
may you repeat what I have to prepare?
This is task 2, sir. Task 2, describe a lake, a river, or a sea you have visited. You should say the 4 pointers below. And your preparation time is 1 minute, sir.
Let's see.
You shall begin now.
So a lake or a sea I visited is the Java Sea. It was a trip for when I would go to the 100 Islands, which is, as the name suggests, a group of islands at the north of Jakarta. I went to one of the islands called, if I'm not mistaken, Pari Island, and it was quite the enjoyable experience personally. The sea is located at like I said, the north, and I've only actually visited once. In the sea, there's not really much to do other than visit the islands, and the islands themselves are actually the main attraction. And for why I like this place, it's not so that I like it.
For the linking word, sir, avoid using N.
I see. As for why I like this particular place, the main reason is that I've never been to another lake, river, or sea that I can remember on the top of my head. This happens to be the only significant memory that I've gone to before in a sea.
Finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, uh, well, we begin the task 3 that we will do discussion, yes, sir, about the lake, river, or sea considered as a nature that attract many people. Yes. How the government of your country uh, push over it to create tourism attraction. Would you mind explaining the situation in your country? I believe that your country has lots of lake and river and sea, but how the government facilitate the area to be to attract people to come as tourists in your country?
So I think the government has done a good effort to make it so that more people know about the beauties of our nation, but I think they need to do much more. One thing I do think they've done correctly is increase the knowledge of the world about a certain island called the island of Bali. Of course, Bali in itself is a unique experience, but there is a lot more beautiful places in Indonesia that the government has either deemed not a major priority, or well, they've been focusing their money on different things, which is usually the reason. Another thing that they've done, in my opinion, at least correctly, is when they actually increase and made actually a trailer about Indonesia's beauty. I think that's a good way and the right way for the government should show the beauty of our nation and places where they can do vacation. Admittedly, there's not much that they've done other than increasing the popularity of the one that's already popular.
Thank you. And as the places are quite beautiful, yes. And what do you think that the government should do to make it as what is it, national assets?
May you repeat?
What are the government action to make this lake, river, and the sea as the national assets?
I think personally what they should have done is increase the knowledge of the other locations. Of course, many people know Bali, and they sometimes think Bali happens to be its own nation, which it clearly isn't. Rather, they should also, in promotional material, show the beauties of Indonesia. That's certainly one of the ways that they can increase Indonesia's popularity in the outside world.
Yes, thank you. That will be it, Mr. John. Mr. John, you are perfect. Okay. So you are doing like 3 rows of questions for the task 2 and task 3, yes. Only the speaking session for the task 3 is not gonna be, it's not gonna be only 1 or 2 questions, yeah. They will chase you around 6 until 9 questions. Yeah. If your answer short, it's gonna be like 9 questions. But if you make longer answer, like you used to do, like 3 until 4 sentences, they probably ask you only around 4 questions. Yeah. But congratulations. Good one. I'm so happy. Yeah. So let's stop this one. Uh,
See.
You did your writing task one, and then I hand you in already the writing task two. You may begin now, sir, for the writing task two. Your time is 40 minutes. Yeah.